I've tested the majority of the different midterm rental models that exist out there so that I can tell you which one I think is the best so that you don't have to go through it like I did. My name is Ruben Kanya. I'm a temporary housing specialist, and we help thousands of homeowners nationwide land the most lucrative midterm rental contracts, leveraging an interesting niche of insurance, that is, but including but not to be limited to. And that is the keyword. And of course, in this video, I want to tell you why this model works the best and why it is the one we go for, but doesn't necessarily mean we always get that kind of clientele, which is important because I believe that you should shoot for the moon so that you could then land upon the stars. So let's talk about midterm rental. So midterm rental stay is typically a stay that is 30-day plus, 38 or more. And with that comes a lot of different clienteles. It could be some that are coming in for, again, work assignments, construction. We've housed those folks. It could be the one that we know more of and we typically hear of is the nursing, the traveling nurse, right? Which in my world, I put that still in the bucket of B2C. That's business to consumers. They're consumers who are coming in, even though they're working. You're not renting out to a business, you're renting out to a consumer. And again, you could be coming in for an internship. We've had those inquiries. You could be coming in, relocating for work. Again, back to business consumer. But then there's this one that I believe is the most lucrative, not because I believe, it's because the numbers show that. And while you can optimize for it, there's a certain type of clientele that walks through the door, and it is by going business to business. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean to go B2B? It means that there are businesses out there who are looking to relocate their clients. And the opportunity in the marketplace is that if they're going with the long-term rental house side of the house, most of these owners are looking for 12-month leases, which is not ideal when you're looking to relocate a client for less than 12 months. Now, then there's the other side of the house where, again, you could be staying for 2 to 3 month stays. But if you go on Airbnb, you're not going to find that availability, although you will find quality. Then there's the sweet spot, which is where Furnish Finder makes a bulk of its killing, is those temporary, 30-day stays, midterm rental stays, which finds a lot of traveling nurses, not just travel nurses, includes travel nurses. But then there's a niche and there's a reason why a lot of these relocation agencies go there is because they have the inventory that can meet their demand. But let's be honest, Furnish Finder starting out with having a majority of their properties being 2 bedrooms, 1 bedrooms, up to 3. After the 4 or 5 bedroom homes, the inventory literally decreases significantly, which is where we like to play because a lot of these corporations are in fact looking for larger homes. Now, not just any type of corporations. We like to go with the one with the biggest bucks or the ones that have the biggest amount of budget. Now, that is where the insurance housing comes in. It is because you're solving a bigger problem when there's an unforeseen event that's happened to a policyholder who, again, owns a policy, and they're displaced for, again, an unforeseen amount of time due to unforeseen circumstances, maybe 2 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, even can extend 6 to 9 months. There's a bulk amount of additional living expense that they can tap into and are entitled to use as far as their relocation temporary housing needs. Now, additional living expenses not exclusively for rental housing, it's inclusive of. So it's important to understand that they have the budget to be able for you to land these larger lucrative contracts. Now, it's all with context. Reason why they're paying a premium is because the premium that they would have to pay. If you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video. for an alternative solution is even more of a premium, and quite frankly they don't have that product. There aren't many 5-bedroom suite hotels with living rooms and dining rooms and backyards where their pets can run, and that is why your actual option compared to a hotel suite pales in comparison to the amount that they would pay out of pocket, and therefore now your premium becomes a deal for them and also becomes a better solution for the homeowner. And that is why we like to cater to that audience. Why? Because again, I want to shoot for the moon so that I may land on the stars if I don't get the moon. And what does landing on a star means? It means all of the other avatars that you can cater to. For example, I had a family of 2. Because we have the right buy box, because we had a big home, even if they were only 2 of them, they stayed in a 5-bedroom home because it met all their needs. The shower was big enough for them to access. We had grab bars. It was physical disability friendly, and therefore they picked our home. So when I'm thinking of a buy box, when I'm thinking of going for the type of asset, I'm thinking of going for the one that's going to cater to one that again can meet all of the needs, all of the above. If I can go for the insurance, then I can get construction, then I can get a relocating family. I want to have the right asset type first. Asset type truly matters because then you're able to really cater to the avatar. Now the reason why I also cater to the avatar is I also understand, and you can also understand, where these companies are looking, where they're not looking. So one of the things you want to think about is where their database is, where they're looking, their own, whether they're going to Airbnb, Furnish Finder, or some of these other databases, which is AKA their own websites. You want to make sure you live there first so that you can get a lion's share of that business when they're looking in your zip code. And it doesn't mean that you can't be on Furnish Finder. It doesn't mean that you can't be on Airbnb, but I want to start with the highest in the food chain first so I can get the highest ROI on my time and on my investment. Because if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're watching this because you want to make sure that you can get the ROI that you are, again, subject to receive if you do the right things in the right place. So again, better than just traditional midterm rentals is going business to business with insurance companies, aka relocation agencies. Why do I say aka? Because a lot of these insurance companies, Allstate, State Farm, etc., are not the ones actually going to relocate these families. They work with their relocation housing partners like a CRS Temporary Housing, ALE Solutions, Alacrity Solutions, just to name a few, that are then relocating, or at least looking for alternative solutions for these homeowners, these policyholders who have been displaced, to find them a like-kind home. And a like-kind home comes with a like-kind budget. The bigger the home they're coming from, the bigger the budget they're going to have to then be able to temporarily live in your home, getting you the rate that you want and then some, because the alternative solution is more expensive. That to me, in business to business, is a win-win solution. Also, one of the biggest things that is often overlooked when you're going business to consumer, it's a one-time transaction. When you're doing business to business, it's multiple. Why? Because of the relationship. This is why I always say it's important that you close on a deal and focus on the contact and not the contract. A lot of people who hear the numbers in this space where they're blown away by them now just focus on getting these big wins, when really the big win should be scoring a relationship on the other side, because that relationship will be the gift that keeps on giving back. As you become a provider for them, they'll continue to come back to you, not just with one relocation specialist, but with all of the team in that department who will understand that you now have an available property for them that they can count on with respect to your zip code. Now, there's a certain way to do that, but this is why I optimize for that, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be 100% occupied with an insurance tenant. No, when you do get one, your business will have a surge in funding for sure, in income, and also it continues to open up the door that because they've done business with you, they'll be willing to do business with you again. Now, it doesn't mean you can do traveling nurses if you want to. Sure, power to you. Does it mean you can do construction if you want to? Power to you. But when you learn how to cater to these companies and find the right asset and live in the right databases and foster a relationship with them, You cannot unlearn this. And I trust that now by watching this, you understand that there is a better model, that there is a best model out there that will continue to keep the door open for the other models. It just means that now you're optimizing for the best, you're shooting for the moon. And I trust that because you've watched this now, you in the midterm rental space can go for the best and continue to serve the others as the demand comes. You can provide the supply at your convenience and for what is best for your business at the time. There is nothing like having an abundance of options of different avatars that you can pick from. It's just important for you to know what avatars exist out there, because if you're not looking for them, they won't be looking for you. If you got value from this video, make sure you check out the ultimate guide to midterm rental insurance explained video.